If you've been spending time in your garden this June, enjoying everything you planted in spring, I need to stop you right there. Because while you're out there admiring your hard work, there's a planting window quietly closing behind you. And most gardeners don't even know it exists. In fact, June might just be the most overlooked month in the entire gardening year. People either think the heavy lifting is done, or they assume it's too hot to bother starting anything new. But here's the truth, June is your second chance. A fresh opportunity to fill your garden with food, color, and life all the way through to autumn. Miss it, and you'll be standing in an empty garden come September, wondering where the season went. So if you want to make the most of every single month your garden has to offer, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share could completely change how you think about June forever. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to plant in June, and more importantly, why it's not too late. You'll discover the fast-growing vegetables that can go from seed to your plate before the first autumn frost. You'll learn a simple trick called succession planting that keeps your harvest going week after week, so nothing goes to waste and you always have something fresh to pick. I'll also show you which herbs absolutely love the warm June soil, and I'll warn you about a watering mistake that trips up even experienced gardeners this time of year. Whether you're brand new to gardening or you've been doing this for years, by the end of this video you're going to feel confident, clear, and ready to get outside and make June count. No stress. No complicated techniques. Just simple, practical steps that actually work. Look, I understand how easy it is to lose track of the gardening calendar. Spring is busy, exciting, full of energy, and then June arrives and it almost feels like a pause. Like the garden is just ticking along and you can relax. And that feeling makes sense. But it's also exactly where so many gardeners, even dedicated ones, fall behind without realizing it. Here at Stress-Free Garden Living, we're all about smart, effortless gardening. We believe you shouldn't need to spend hours researching or stressing over what to do next. Gardening should feel enjoyable, not overwhelming. So everything we share is designed to be simple, practical, and genuinely useful, especially if you're a beginner, or someone who wants great results without the gardening becoming another thing on a long to-do list. June is actually one of the easiest months to garden in, once you know what to do. Let's get into it. Before I get into the plants, I want to flag something I'll be coming back to later in the video. It's about watering, and I know that sounds simple, but stick with me. Because there's one very common watering habit that feels completely logical in June, and it's quietly killing new plants across gardens everywhere. I'll tell you exactly what it is and how to avoid it before we finish today. For now though, let's talk about what to actually get in the ground. Here's something that might surprise you. The number one gardening mistake in June has nothing to do with planting the wrong thing. It's about not planting anything at all. Most gardeners spend June in maintenance mode. Weeding here, watering there, maybe deadheading a few flowers. And because the spring plants are growing happily, everything feels fine. But here's what's actually happening underneath the surface. Every week that passes in June without new seeds going in is a week of growing time lost. By the time October rolls around, you'll wish you had those extra weeks back. Think of it like this. June is essentially a second spring. The soil is warm, the days are long, and fast-growing crops have everything they need to thrive. But this window doesn't stay open forever. The good news? You don't need to replant your entire garden. You just need to know which plants will genuinely reward you for starting them now. And that's exactly what we're going to cover. Let's start with the most important question. What actually works when you plant it in June? The answer is fast-maturing vegetables. These are crops that don't need months and months to grow, they are ready in 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes even less. First up, courgettes. If you haven't grown courgettes before, June is genuinely one of the best times to start. They love warm soil, they grow fast, and 1 or 2 plants can keep you in courgettes for the rest of summer. Plant them in a sunny spot, give them a bit of space, and they'll do the rest. Next, French beans. These are incredibly easy to grow, which makes them perfect for beginners. You can sow them directly into the ground, they don't need much fussing over, and they'll be ready to pick in about 8 weeks. That puts you firmly in August, still plenty of summer left to enjoy them. Then there's beetroot. Beetroot is one of those vegetables that's surprisingly quick to grow when the soil is warm. It's also deeply satisfying to harvest. There's something very rewarding about pulling a cluster of deep red roots out of the ground. Sow them now and you'll be harvesting by late summer. And finally, salad leaves. If you want the fastest results of anything we'll talk about today, salad leaves are your answer. Certain varieties are ready to cut in as little as 3 to 4 weeks. That means you could be harvesting your own fresh salad by the end of this month. Scatter the seeds, keep them watered, and you're done. These 4 crops share one important quality. They are forgiving, they are fast, and they actually enjoy the warmth that June brings. You don't need to be an expert to grow any of them successfully. Now, before I share the tip that most gardeners completely overlook, and honestly, it's the one that separates a good summer harvest from a great one, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the rest of this series. Because we've got a lot more like this coming your way. Right. Let's talk about the secret weapon. Here's the tip I mentioned. And it genuinely changes the way you experience your garden. It's called succession planting, and if that sounds technical, don't worry. The idea is incredibly simple. Instead of planting all your seeds at the same time, you sow a small amount every 2 or 3 weeks. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Here's why it makes such a difference. When you plant everything at once, everything matures at once. You end up with a mountain of courgettes or a glut of salad leaves, more than you can eat, and then nothing. The harvest comes and goes in a rush. But when you succession plant, you're spreading that harvest out over weeks. Every time you go out to the garden, there's something new to pick. It stays fresh, manageable, and genuinely enjoyable. For salad leaves, this is especially powerful. Sow a small row now. In 2 weeks, sow another small row. And 2 weeks after that, another one. You'll have a continuous supply of fresh salad right through until autumn, without ever having too much at once. The same works for French beans, beetroot, and even herbs. A little bit, regularly, goes an incredibly long way. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Small and often beats big and all at once every time. Now let's talk about herbs, because this is one area where June genuinely has the advantage over every other month. Herbs that struggle in the cool, damp soil of early spring absolutely come alive once the ground warms up. And 3 in particular are worth planting right now. Basil is the first. Basil hates cold. It sulks in chilly conditions and often gives up altogether if it gets too cool at night. But warm June soil? That's exactly what basil needs. Plant it now, water it regularly, and you'll have lush, fragrant leaves to cut all summer long. It's wonderful in salads, with tomatoes, in pasta, the uses are endless. Coriander is next. Now, coriander can be a bit temperamental. It tends to bolt, which means it shoots up and goes to seed very quickly, especially in warm weather. The trick is to succession sow it, just like we talked about. Sow a little every few weeks rather than one large batch, and you'll always have fresh leaves available. And then there's dill. Dill is wonderfully easy to grow and thrives in warm conditions. It has a lovely, feathery appearance that looks beautiful in the garden, and the flavor is distinctive and versatile, great with fish, in salad dressings, or even just sprinkled over new potatoes. All 3 of these herbs ask very little of you. A sunny spot, some water, and a little patience. In return, they'll add fresh flavor to your cooking from now until well into autumn. Alright. This is the moment I promised you earlier. The watering mistake. Here it is. A lot of gardeners water their new June plantings in the middle of the day. It makes sense on the surface, the plants look dry, the sun is high, so you reach for the watering can. But watering in the midday heat is one of the worst things you can do for young plants. Here's why. The water evaporates so quickly in the heat that the roots barely get a chance to absorb it. You're essentially pouring water onto hot soil and watching it disappear. Worse, water droplets sitting on leaves in bright sunshine can actually scorch them, burning small patches that weaken the plant. New seedlings in June are particularly vulnerable. Their root systems are still small and shallow, which means they dry out faster and have less buffer against heat stress. The solution is beautifully simple. Water in the early morning. That's it. Early morning watering means the moisture soaks down deep into the soil before the heat of the day kicks in. The roots get a long, steady drink. The plants stay hydrated through the hottest hours. And you waste far less water in the process. If you genuinely can't manage mornings, watering in the early evening is the next best option. Just avoid the middle of the day, especially with young, newly planted seedlings. This one small change can make a significant difference to how well your June plantings establish and grow. I want to leave you with something that I hope really sticks. Every single week you delay planting in June costs you real time at the other end of the season. It's not just a week, it's a week of warmth, a week of long days, a week of growing energy that cannot be replaced once summer starts turning towards autumn. Think about what that means in practical terms. Plant French beans this week and you'll be picking them in August, with plenty of summer still to enjoy. Wait 3 weeks to get started and you're harvesting in September, racing against the first chill in the air. But here's the flip side of that, and this is what I really want you to hold on to. The gardeners who act in June, who get even a few seeds in the ground, who keep it simple and consistent, those are the gardeners who are still harvesting when everyone else's garden has wound down. A courgette planted today. A row of salad leaves scattered this weekend. A few beetroot seeds pushed gently into warm soil. These tiny actions, taken now, translate into weeks of abundance later. You don't need to overhaul your garden. You don't need to spend a fortune or dedicate a whole weekend to it. You just need to start. Even 10 minutes with a packet of seeds this week will put you ahead of where you'd otherwise be. That's the beauty of June. The effort is small. The reward is generous. And the window, while narrow, is still open. So let's quickly bring all of this together. June is not the end of your planting season, it's the beginning of your second one. And now you know exactly how to use it. Get fast-maturing crops like courgettes, French beans, beetroot, and salad leaves into the ground. Use succession planting to keep your harvest spread out and continuous. Add some basil, coriander, and dill while the soil is warm enough to help them thrive. And make that one small but significant switch: water in the morning, not in the middle of the day. None of this is complicated. None of it requires you to be an expert. It just requires a little action, taken now, while the opportunity is still there. That's what stress-free garden living is all about. Not doing more, doing the right things, at the right time, in the simplest way possible. So you get a garden that rewards you without wearing you out. Your future self, the one harvesting beans in August and pulling up beetroot in September, will be very glad you watched this video today. Before you head outside to get started, and I really do hope you go and do that today, I'd love to know one thing. Which of these plants are you going to try first? Are you going for a quick win with salad leaves? Giving courgettes a go for the first time? Or maybe you're finally going to plant that basil you've been putting off? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I genuinely love to hear what you're planning. And here's my second question for you. Do you already succession plant, or is that something you're going to try for the first time this June? Let me know down below. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps more gardeners like you find this content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time to do it. Every week we share simple, practical gardening advice designed to help you grow more with less effort. No overwhelm, no complicated techniques, just stress-free gardening that actually works. I'll see you in the next one. Happy gardening.